Good morning. Good morning, you guys. It's a Monday morning. Ba-doo-be-doo, trying to straighten everything out. You can see that it's a little warmer down here today. Let me tell you, when it's cold here, it is cold. Just cold. Of course, I've been living down here over 30 years. And of course, my blood has thinned out pretty good, you know. Plus, I was actually born in Missouri and was raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, uh, from about 1970. I was in third grade. All right, somewhere around there. That's how I can remember it. That's how I always say it. I came here when I was in third grade, but then went through high school and then into the Navy. My father's a roofer. He's still alive. My mom is a seamstress, and they came from those days where you made everything. So on your own, and she was an only child, and they created 5 kids. That's me. I was the fourth one in line. Got a younger sister, PJ, that hangs out with me from time to time here in St. Pete, or here in Key West, Florida. She comes here all the time. I don't go home a lot. Home was a place I ran away from as a child and as an adult. I don't seem to always find so much comfort at home. I seem to have found it here in Key West. It's just a beautiful place. And I never ever wanted to leave it, And in fact, it was here that I learned that word love. I used it on my older sister Bev one time, and there was this quiet. She'd never heard that before. But you got to start off somewhere. But anyways, you guys, if you guys that are new, if anyone is new to the channel and they don't want to go back in the past, sometimes things in the past remind you of where I was a year ago or 2 years ago, and my thoughts. I knew a lot about symbolism back then, but I didn't really put it all together to make more sense out of it, to where the Bible's actually telling us another story. Once you learn to get past the surface content of this, you'll find that there's a whole nother story underneath. And so just like we are uncovering the Bible bit by bit, and it becomes exciting to me now. And whereas before I could just literally just fall asleep watching it or reading it. And now it's like, wow, this is really cool. What did I just learn from this? And of course, this here, I'm talking more about the conversation we're having with Samson and Delilah in the book of Judges. And in the process of doing this, I was led to a passage in Numbers that tells us about what it is to really be a Nazarene. All right. So this idea of Nazarene was brought up to Moses in this story. So this was way before Jesus. So they'd already had this conscious idea of how to, what a Nazarene is. All right. And here I'm going to I'm going to X this down so I can't see myself. And I'm going to go back to this Numbers. Now, Numbers, delved into this place before. Numbers, it's just what we're working with when it comes down to the code. And of course, this is Numbers 6. And 6 is about the works. No matter where you find this number 6 at, it's talking about the works, whether they be working for you or working against you. And so what it is the works, it winds up being this tree that's inside of us that's meant to be for meat. And of course, this is what is brought to life through your hand, and it's representing the staff of that stuff, that which sustains us. All right. So you would like to think an outside idea of sustaining yourself is to have a stick to hold on to. But if you found that this kingdom was inside of you and that you were asked to go within to find this place, that you would find that Kundalini becomes that that what sustains us. All right. It has a both positive and negative situation because of duality. And when you hear the words coming out of Numbers 6, and this is also all comes out of the King James Version of the Bible, a lot of the other changes that are made to make the Bible easier to read, take certain words out, makes it easier to read and understand, and takes away the meanings, takes away the truth that's really found on its inside. So what we have here, I've read the first 6 before, or first 9, but anyways, let's do it again anyways. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, these are the numbers. 1 is representing the initiation or the conversation, or Lord or something like that. 1, 2 becomes about you and me, his creation, and then we have, and his creation is that we are made in his image. So we have a negative side and a positive side to us, representing the male and the female, or higher and lower conscious of our brains. All right. 4 becomes worlds. In our world, what is our world going to be like? 4 is how we're going to go about doing something. Changing our worlds. This is where 4 comes in. If you want to change your world, you have to go through 4 things. You have to go from your outside mind, which is where we are right now, or a lot of people in their conscious minds are basically on the black side, with if you're a believer or a non-believer. But if you're a follower, like you and I are, we're an insider, and we're not outsiders. Okay, which means we have changed the fourth one, which is what the whole thing is about. The 9 is consciousness. The fourth world on this is our spirituality. And so if you want to bring it to where you're cooking with God, then you have to get the west, the left side of our body, our left side of our worlds, which is the conscious side of our intellect, to come inside with our emotional side, which is the north, our physical side, which is the south, all the way over to our spiritual side. This is what 4 is. 4 is to change your world. All right. And in this particular one, you'll see that it says, of all the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree. All right, made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. So they're talking about from top to bottom. So they're saying not to go into this place. So he is given his free reign just right off the first 3 or 4 bits of this scripture. So let's back it up and talk about 4. 5 becomes the body. What's the body going to do? 6 becomes the works. 7 becomes, about light, or light. The 7th is chakra. The 7th is Sabbath. This is the idea of someone or something when it intervenes. This brings light into your world and light into your life and stuff like that. It's also where hell comes in a lot of times. We have 8 becomes a control number. This is the way it is now. 8, 9 becomes the conscious. What is it? Is this a good thing or a positive thing? All right, so here we go, and we'll just keep on reading and get through this whole thing. All right, Numbers 6. Okay, Numbers chapter 6. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord. Okay. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. He shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in which he separateth himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy. He shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. That was number 5. 6, all the days that he separateth him from the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. Six means the works. You're not going to kill yourself. All right. This idea of dying, it's not going to come to you. All right. So because you're not taking any of what was coming from the vine. All right. That was 6. So the works are dead. All right. 7. The sevens are not dead. 7 means you're very much alive. You'll never die. But we know that means that you're dead. All right. 7, he shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, for his brother, for his sister, when they die. Okay, because the consecration of his God is upon his head. Remember, we have to, when this day comes, we have to hate mom and dad, brothers and sisters. We have to even hate ourselves before we can make it over to this particular place. And he's saying not to do any of that yet. None of that. Love them all. And number 8, which would be a control all the days of his separation. He is holy unto the Lord. Now, and 9, and if any man die very suddenly by him, and he had defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing, and the 7th day shall he shave it. All right. 10. And on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtles and 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Remember, this congregation is this place inside you where everybody gathers. All right, that's usually around the 5th or the 6th chakra as well. But here he is saying on the 8th day he's supposed to bring 2 turtles. Doesn't say turtle doves. These 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest. One's going to, let's keep on going. Those 2 are you. Remember when we go to this place, inside of us, there's the 2 boats that shows up on the shoreline. Remember the 2 boats? That's the 2 of you, the 2 sides of you. All right. So when this day happens, when you've done something, it's time for your sin offering. You're supposed to bring these 2 things to the priest. All right. And you actually become the priest in this. You're the only person that can go in. So let's see, 13. No, number 12. 12 becomes 3. And he shall he should consecrate unto the Lord the days of his separations, shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. And the days that were before shall be lost, because his separation was defiled. 13. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Okay, when his days are done, when you die, when you've had enough of this, when it's done. All right. Number 14. And he shall offer his offering unto the Lord. 1, lamb of the first year, without blemish, for the burnt offering. And 1 all lamb of the first year, without blemish, for a sin offering. And 1 ram without blemish for a peace offering. This is the 1, 2, and 3 coming in, because it just that's what 13 did. 13, 3 and 1, 4. It's changed his world. 5, that's all about himself now, and 14 actually becomes a 5. He shall offer his offering unto the Lord. and one he lamb of the first year, without blemish or burnt offering. There's one of, I've already read all of this. This is 1, 2, and 3. 15, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers and unleavened bread anointed with oil. This is the inside of us. This is number 15. And drink offering. Remember, this is where the well is. This is where you get food and all this stuff. The unleavened bread means you're not thinking, you've given yourself. All right. 16, the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and shall offer his sin offerings and his burnt offering. Seven burnt offerings. Sevens are coming in here. But is that true? She shall. It's number 16. 6 and 1 and 7. Yeah. 17, and he shall offer the ram for the sacrifice of peace, offering unto the Lord. This is you. Offering unto the Lord with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering. 17, 18, and the Nazarite shall have the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now this door is the, when you're at the tent, when you're at the door to get into the tent. All right. This is, when you pitch a tent, you're in meditation. All right. So he's going to present his hair up there. Okay. He's going to present what is outside. This is actually your garments. Remember, you can't have your garments. And this is where it comes interesting, is because, we make his skin, his hair out to be his strengths. And really what it's talking about is the same idea that anybody who's just living off of their half brain is some kind of a beast, some kind of a beast, a monster that has hardly any control whatsoever. But he's been given this right, just like you and I are discovering that we've been given this right to grow our hair. All right. Until that one day when you give it all up, when you give everything up. You were meant to grow. You're meant to be this tree. You're meant to be chopped down, chop down to the root. It's meant to be. You're meant to not understand this stuff. And then that one day when you do, and I'll tell you the way that works, hardly anyone ever begins to understand this. So it's more like a quagmire. Let's continue finishing this up, okay? Number 19, which becomes 1, all right? And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and one unleavened cake out of the basket, and one unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazareth, and the hair of his separation is shaven. 2, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And this is holy for the priest, with the wave breast and heave shoulder. And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine. All right. So this is the joining, number 21. Then is the law of the Nazarite who hath vowed, and of his offering unto the Lord for his separation, beside that his hand shall get, according to the vow which he vowed, so he must do after the law of his separation. He must do after the law. So I'm not really sure what all that is meaning, but I'm thinking that it's number 3. So, once you get this, you are now stuck. You vowed. You vowed the separation so that you could learn more about the Lord and to learn to fear him, learn to fear all of this business. And now we turn around and we are now accepted in all of this business. All right. So it's a vow. Somehow or another, we made a vow with the Lord before we came into this world. that we would come in ignorant of him, ignorant of all this stuff, but eventually, with his blessings, become one with him again. All right. So, in 22, the Lord and the Lord spake, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall, on this wise, ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. 26. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And 27. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right. Well, most interesting altogether, I would say. Let's see where we are. Here I am. Hello, I'm back. I know I never left. What do you say? Shit. So now we know what a Nazarene is. A Nazarene is an individual who runs around out there, plays part of the pack with everybody else out there, learning a lot about Jesus and God and all these things, being separated from other people and other worlds, being hateful, learning how not to like someone, learning how to be separate, how to divide yourself amongst other people. But then it gives you this idea that you have to go through this. This is the rite of passage. If you want to get to heaven, you got to go through hell first to get there. And of course, what I think I'm doing is I'm doing someone else's homework. But when it comes down to it, these guys went out and taught the stories too. They didn't come out there and start telling these people parables. People look at them like, what? I'm supposed to be a child when I come here. Can you give me a little more information on that? Can you back that up with some kind of science? What is all of that? It's very tricky when you think about it, because all through the book you'll find that they're in Israel, and they sinned before the Lord's eyes, and that the Lord delivered them into the hands of their enemies. And even though he did bring people out of Egypt in his story, it seems like there's always like this little play, whereas before you went, it's like teasing you. Here, you can have this. Oh, you can't have it. No, you can't have it. Oh, yeah, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. You go grab it. Oh, no, you can't have it. No. So it's like, it's playing with us. But it's kind of interesting. So we just unravel the Bible one story at a time. And this latest one confirms other stories. It tells us that the very same words that kind of bring about this ignorance to the mind, the folly, making us into people who are following after dreams and fantasy, believing things that just don't happen, and just being swallowed up in this hell without any thirst requirement, without being able to quench your thirst. And that's told also in the stories. That we actually had to go through this hell first. It's the idea that maybe you wouldn't appreciate it, that's the whole idea between, if you could get rid of the devil, which is what this outside world would like to just totally get rid of the devil, well, then, it breaks, our world takes the two. It takes the evil side and the positive side to come alive. It's an electrical situation that you get rid of either side of this, and, nobody plays anymore. The teeter-totter don't work no more. When someone jumps off the other side, dead. Nothing works anymore. So we have to come to some kind of grips over our teachers. Whereas one taught me how to do this, so I can't be mad and hate all of that group or religion or something like that. I have this little thing where, why did they do this to me? But you find out later on that it's just all part of the plan. Should take the mean out of it. Should just if you've crossed over to this side, you shouldn't hold a grudge, because this is what it took to get here. This is what it took to come to this place. And even for you guys, you're searching for it. If you don't believe any of this shit that I'm talking about, click, you're gone. You just, I'll hear from you in some hateful comment and all. But you people that are there, that are searching, that love this God, and just want to connect, want the truth. It's it's you that are coming into here. It's you that hear my words and hear the teachings out there. It's you that, maybe there is something to this, So I don't feel real terrible about breaking the silence and letting people know that there is a better way to read this Bible, another way. Just so that they know that there are two ways. We live off of one, or we're dead, basically, living off the surface, which makes us really enjoy the idea of being alive once we make it through to the other side. Find it was a game the whole time, It's something kind of, where we made a pact with the Lord, that we come in to learn stuff. We don't want to have the knowledge. There you go. There you go. Some dog running around loose. Gonna have to put a door up. But anyways, I just thought I would come on, tell you a little bit more about that, because it just doesn't make sense. Years and years ago, what I would said, this is before I even, did anything. I was claiming that what he was representing was the sun in the sky, which he does. He is, Samson means, of the sun. So does it, Jesus. Jesus, the number of the numbers of the name Jesus. And we know Jay wasn't around during these days, but he was representing the sun in the sky. And so what you would find is in Samson's story towards the end, he cut his hair. He was going, if he went through all the stories, she cut his hair. He was with this gal. He really liked her. And on the third time, or after the third time, it was that fourth one that he gave all his goods to, and gave her all of his heart. And even though she tricked him out of it, that was the way it was supposed to be. Just like with Judas betraying Jesus. He had to do it. It was his best friend that betrayed him, that set this whole thing up, or it wouldn't work. And you would see that this best friend is someone inside of you, this person that is inside of you that you trust enough to go this route, find this Lord and hook up. And of course, all those people become good guys. They're not bad guys, for taking you away from the separation. All right. Which becomes another separation, because, you can't have two masters. You got, like the water spigot can't put out both salt water and fresh water. It has to make up its mind. And for a good long time, we're out there salting the world, which means nothing can grow. And so when we finally find this place on the other side, when we finally make it over to this promised land, then we are increased in some way. We've given back ourselves, and this little light inside of us, this seed that we planted, begins to grow, and it grows just like a plant is. I think that's why I started this garden, because, I can sit back and watch things grow in silence. And as things grow out there, I can just know it's growing inside of me as well. So I haven't even learned what the potential is going to be yet. I just know that I still have to live on this earth. I have to make money. It keeps me away from doing this, which is, I think, what they want me to do, or this energy and stuff would rather me sit back and do this and make it simple. So I'll have you, we're going to end this now. All right. And what I'd like for you to do is to go and find the Tao, Tao, and listen to Tao and Weiwei. All right. What is it about the Tao? There's this one guy who goes, oh, those are so la la. Oh, I absolutely love it. Raises the hairs on my arms. But when you listen to it, you'll find that this one with someone and someone, when this lady or a gal or someone is going out to find him, she is on a boat. She starts off on a boat. She's going out to see a teacher. And she has to go across this bridge to get to him, or to this water. So the whole story is told in 3 chapters, 1, 2, and 3. Talks about, the first chapter is going to be introducing the 2 different players, all right, or this energy, the one, all right. The second chapter is going to be where they come together. She meets him. She gets over there and talks to him, and they exchange information. It's a long story. And then on the 3rd chapter, they join together. They join together. This whole thing is just beautifully written. It's the same coding going on. You can hear it whenever you listen to this story. And then she's on her way back home. She gets aboard the boat, and she goes across the river to go back home. I want you to listen to that story. It's beautiful. And it talks about you. It talks about the person that becomes the Tao. And not to be afraid of this. The TAO, or the DAO, represents God. God's energy. And you learn a lot about this energy. And you'll understand the whole idea behind this connection between what is seen and what is unseen. Like a sheet of paper, like a sheet of paper. There's one side that you see, but you can't see the other side. But together, they make one. All right? So that's this kind of storytelling that you listen to, and it's really cool. And I absolutely enjoy listening to it. It makes me smile. Only because I can't believe I heard that. I cannot believe I just heard that. And I've been saying that, oh, you laugh. Well, I'm listening to it enough. It says if you laugh, then if you laugh at the Tao, then, you're a fool. Because it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. So when people hear it, they would laugh. When I heard something, it wasn't a laugh. It was like a aha. Oh my goodness. Did you just hear that? It's not a laugh so much, but the idea is that if you have the ears to hear, you'll enjoy the story. It'll no longer be like some mystery to you. And so it's a aha moment that comes and gets you every time. Just absolutely. And cements you into this thinking, this way of mind melding. All right. So best to you guys. And enjoy yourselves. Best to you. I'll be doing a video of my garden soon. I know, I promised. All right. So beautiful day to y'all.